Hello and welcome. Sit tight. Catch Dog Concepts will be live very soon. Thank you for tuning in.
What is up? I don't like how my quality looks on here. I don't think I got nobody in here yet, but let me adjust this right quick because I am lagging bad and I don't like that. Shout out to whoever watching right now. Shout out to you. Tell me how my quality look. I don't like how it looks. I don't know if it's because of this or what, but I don't know if that might have fixed it. Yeah, I think it look a little better. So today we're gonna talk about the Boerboel and the I know the title says the Boerboel in the direction of the breed, but we'll get into some of that. But I mean, I'm not well versed in the show world, so this is just a little moment for me to kind of read some articles and read some things and learn a little bit more about some disqualifications in the breed. Um, how to handle a disqualification. Say if you have a dog that will or could be disqualified in the show ring. So got a few articles I think that benefit anybody looking to learn a little bit more about showing. And I want to say shout out to Modern Molosser and Elite Boerboels for these two articles, well, three articles. So first we're gonna start out with Modern Molosser's article. We'll start out with her. Shout out to her. So we're gonna talk about the black Boerboels and the AKC rings. It says the color schism in this rare breed recently set Facebook ablaze. This article is from 2023, but I know there's still some controversy behind the coloring of the Boerboel, especially the black ones. Sound a little messed up, but y'all get what I'm saying. It says about all's well that ends well. So this is articles by Denise Flame. Shout out to her. It says it was bound to happen eventually. Late last month, the black Boerboel was entered at a dog show and earned the best of breed ribbon, which is something because I read over these articles, but that's something I learned that they will accept a dog for. Appreciate that, Hunter. Yeah, I didn't know how it was looking. But yeah, I just recently learned that the AKC will accept some things. I know sometimes they will accept a dog if it's at least 84 or 85% of the breed that you say it is. They will accept that dog. Sometimes, not all the time. So it says an AKC Boerboel was black and got the best of breed ribbon. A lot of people were furious. A Boerboel fancier went onto a Facebook page and devoted to a Facebook page devoted to critiquing judges, lamenting the win, predictability. Social media erupted into a kaleidoscope of often conflicting diatribes, berating everyone from the judge to the exhibitor to the Facebook poster to those fanciers not perceived as being supportive enough of newcomers. After several days, 1,000 comments, and who knows how many spent electrons, the furor died down. But what many of the posters didn't appreciate about the Boerboel controversy is that the system worked. Ultimately, a disqualifying colored Boerboel did not receive any ribbons or recognition from the American Kennel Club, and that has everything to do with the Boerboel's AKC parent club. Like I said, I'm learning with y'all on this. Because I don't know a lot of show breeders. It doesn't even have to be a Boerboel breeder, but it'd be preferred. But just somebody to give me the basics would be amazing. It says hue and cry. It says while I use the term black Boerboel throughout this article, that really is a misnomer, since black was never a color historically found in South African Boerboel's population. It is technically incorrect to call these dogs black Boerboels, as they are not purebred. The black coloring results from a cross made in South Africa with black Labrador type dogs. Okay, so that's where that coat derived from. Interesting. I heard from some people it was a Corso or another massive breed because the reconstruction talked about said it used a fallen Great Dane, but you go into pedigrees and you get into the ancestry a little bit, and another color might pop out of a litter. But the Great Dane does produce black. Uh, so with those semantics taken care of, let's nail down precisely what happened. I'm sorry, I read ahead. For the sake of expediency, I'll use a shorthand of black Boerboel, but it should be understood that a dominant color like black can only come from crossbreeding. And so these dogs are technically black Boerboel crosses. Yeah, that's really the black Boerboel has really the black Boerboel really has come on the scene strong, I say. Like it has, like this even says it's not really a Boerboel, but a lot of people really are starting to learn what Boerboels are, and they say it's a Boerboel. So you can't I mean, people like us could get caught up in that, in the oh, it's not a real Boerboel because it's black. But for the outsider, like the regular person, they're not gonna understand that, or understand what you're trying to get out of that conversation. So it says, with those semantics taken care of, let's nail down precisely what happened, minus names and identifying information, as the details are unnecessary for making our point, and I prefer not to give more publicity to this atypical, ahistorical color. A black Boerboel was indeed entered at an AKC show, the first time this has happened since the breed was officially recognized. As far as I can ascertain, the dog was correctly disqualified by the judge on the first day, and his handler received an explanation from the judge that the color was a disqualification. According to the standard, the handler returned the second day, but instead of being disqualified, received a best of breed ribbon from that day's judge. So that's kind of funny to me. I wonder. So I said it was a different judge. I wonder. So this really does depend on. I know I hear a lot of stories about people saying judges, they may go after you and look for you and be like, I don't like him, so he not finna win nothing. So it really does depend on that judge of that day and how that judge feels. I feel like that's real bias. Hopefully, I don't get in trouble for this, but it is what it is over here at Catch Dog Concepts when it comes to speaking our mind. As long as it makes sense. So it says, so the judge accepted the dog and gave him best of breed ribbon. It says the judge, who was presumably unaware of the disqualification, the dog was a single entry and so did not defeat any other dogs nor gain any points towards his championship. Several days later, the win photo appeared on Facebook in a post by the dog's breeder, presumably to promote the accomplishment. The dog's entry was later administratively canceled by the AKC. So here it says, color me relieved. So it says those unfamiliar with the AKC might assume that the black dog's entry was nullified because he was of disqualifiable color. In short, no. It says American Kennel Club rules are clear. If a judge misses or opts not to disqualify a disqualifiable fault, too bad. The win stands because according to the AKC system, a judge's decisions are binding and final. Just as a judge can incorrectly disqualify a dog, the hoopla over white-chested Dogu de Bordeaux's. I think I slaughtered that name every time I say it. I'm gonna get the pronunciation right. It says comes to mind about the Bordeaux. So it says so So two, can he or she incorrectly not disqualify a dog? Standard related disqualifications are serious business, as after three of them, a dog can never again be shown in the AKC system. While a judge can later rescind a disqualification, we do all make mistakes and sometimes arrive at that revelation after the fact. A judge cannot disqualify a dog he or she was awarded after the book has been signed and the results recorded. Says the introduction of black into the Boerboel breed has resulted in an avalanche of incorrectly colored dogs in the breed. Absolutely. Tony, what's up, baby? How you doing, brother? Man, so we were supposed to do the interview with Coon Dog Wear. It was a couple issues that went on with that. Nothing on his end or anything like that. I had made a mistake myself. So that interview is postponed, and hopefully we can get that in the works here soon. But yeah, we definitely working on some great things. I just got something that just came shipped to me today. I think it's gonna change up the content in a positive way. So it says instead, the reason the Black Boerboel's entry was later canceled was because it did not have a valid AKC registration, according to the American Kennel Club's rules applying to dog shows, specifically Chapter 11, Section 1. Foreign bred dogs can be entered in AKC shows without an AKC registration if they are registered with the foreign registry organization whose pedigrees are acceptable for AKC registration. Okay, so I didn't know that. So you can you can show a dog that's not AKC registered, but it has to be registered with another registration. Just has to have the standard has to fit with the AKC. I didn't know that, so that's pretty cool. It says that's because neither the Kennel Union of Southern Africa and by extension the Federation Cenological, I might say that wrong. It's all right. International or FCI recognizes the main source of black Boerboels in the world. The breed's official club in its native South Africa, South African Boerboel Breeders Society. Interesting. So so here we got a backstory on the black Boerboel. So it says, sadly, the story of the black Boerboel was hardly an original one. The Fila Brasileiro had an eerily similar scenario emerge in that breed. I think that'll be the next breed we go over too. So y'all be on the lookout for that. So some breeders crossed to black colored dogs because buyers were willing to pay a premium for such exotic colors. So the exotic aspect on these dogs even comes over to the Boerboels. I mean, it's obvious, of course, now, but before it, I mean, it wasn't shown that much. But now we got these blue tick Boerboels, white powdering, spotted Boerboels. Man, it's getting crazy. But I guess that's it's the time we live in now. So I don't think the Boerboel's gonna be the only one. I think it's gonna happen all over. The Giant Schnauzer just won. I'm pretty sure the Westminster show. Pretty sure the Corso is definitely happening to them now. Maybe be careful what I say about them. They'll be then jumped on my channel. So, like I said, it said the buyers were willing to pay for a black dog, and of course, everybody chases a fad when it comes to breeding. It says very soon the black dogs became so entrenched in the gene pool that they were added to the standard, even though the color is historically incorrect in the Fila, just as it is in the Boerboel. So that's something I just learned now, that the Fila actually is supposed to be black. But I mean, it overtook the dog as a whole. It's accepted now. So it says in the case of the Boerboel, the outcome was even more dire. The breed basically ceased to officially exist everywhere that is except the United States. Says, as I've outlined in the earlier story, more than a decade ago, bureaucratic snafus and political wrangling ultimately left the breed in the hands of those who had the black dogs as they controlled the only club permitted by the South African government to issue pedigrees. That's crazy to me, really. Like, so it says the Kennel Union of Southern Africa denounced the black dogs and refused to recognize both the standard and the pedigrees of the newly government recognized Boerboel Club. Breeders who opposed the black dogs found themselves out in the cold, contemplating rebranding of the breed under a different name and standard, though this has never come to pass. It says, but the breed was already established in the United States, led by fanciers who had uniformly taken a position against the black dogs, which most believe first resulted from crosses to black Labradors or Labrador crosses, one of whom was named Pet Shop Jim. So that's an interesting name. Oh, excuse me. Hold on. So it says, economics underlie the demand for black Boerboel puppies. Uneducated buyers find the incorrect color exotic. Says American Boerboel Club decided to take a stand, left its stub books open. If a pedigree issued by the South African Boerboel Breeders Society is sent to the American Kennel Club, it will be rejected. If, however, that pedigree is sent to the American Boerboel Club and it is free of any black ancestors, it can be sent by the ABC to the American Kennel Club as part of the open stub book and will be accepted. I got black ancestors. Says this explains why the Boerboel in question did not have an AKC number. It couldn't. As black is a dominant color, it just can't spontaneously appear in two correctly colored parents. And its pedigree would invariably have contained black dogs. It says, I had a long day. I'm sorry, y'all. Says in retrospect, it appears that this particular Boerboel's appearance at an AKC event was not an accident. After the show, the dog's breeder posted the win photo on his website, encouraging owners and breeders of black Boerboels to do the same. In an effort to shed light on a marginalized segment of the Boerboel's community and precipitate discussion about changing the standard to include black dogs. So it says, whether it will even be possible for such dogs to walk into the AKC rings, in the future, is itself a big question mark, given the uproar and resulting awareness about the black Boerboel controversy. So chances are there will be more attention paid to Boerboel show entries. Any exhibitor in the ring with a black Boerboel can protest a dog on the grounds of the color disqualification. Says those outside the ring may not protest, and anyone inside the ring protesting must do it with the scope of AKC rules. Says that it's a protest must be logged before the last dog of the class is examined. Says additionally, the AKC's dealing for misconduct rule book allow for an individual to be brought up on charges for conduct prejudicial to the sport, knowingly and repeatedly entering a dog that an exhibitor knows is ineligible to compete falls under this description. Says black Boerboel should not be confused with so-called reverse brindles, correctly colored fawn or red dogs whose black brindling is so intense that it obscures much of the base color. Says ironically, the recent black Boerboel brouhaha, how's that for alliteration, has served the breed well. First, it made fanciers aware of the color disqualification in the Boerboel standard. The AKC Boerboel disqualifies any base color not described, and black is one of those not described colors. Says the only disqualifiable color, specifically mentioned is blue colored powder coat, which is a reference to dilution. And just as important, it made the fancy aware why there is such a great deal of chum in the breed regarding this color. Says today many breeds are in a state of desperation over the fad colors that have invaded their breeds. So it says French bulldoggers report that disreputable breeders are pumping out so many blue and merle dogs that reputable breeders having difficulty placing dogs of correct colors such as fawn and cream. And that's another big problem. Excuse me again. I think not we, but just breeders have got so caught up in the coloring that it's hurting the people that are doing it by the standard. And then some are still breeding to standard, and if they can get their dogs off, then they will. Because who wants to keep in this economy? We can't keep seven puppies in a litter or 8 puppies in a litter, which so that's tough. But there are some people that still breed to the standard. But as you see here, it's more difficult because people like the blacks, they like the myrtles, they like the blues, they like the blue tick or the powder blue, like this just stated in this article. So, what do you do as a breeder that breeds true to standard and true to health? Because there are problems with blue coats and merles. I mean, I'll probably do an episode on that, looking into that. But there's a lot that goes with the coat coloring. It can cause a lot of effects. Blue dogs mainly can't eat chicken. Most of them can't. It's mainly in the bullies, but I mean that's most of the blue dogs you see. So it says, let me see where I was at. So in the end, the American Boerboel Club may not be able to stop the flow of incorrectly colored Boerboels into the states, but it can keep them out of the AKC rings using the one tool available to it, the standard that it controls and safeguards. And that, given the specter of so many historically incorrect colors and so many breeds, from black and tan bulldogs to straw Cane Corsos, is something to celebrate indeed. Man, so yeah, Hunter. They can't eat chicken. I think they like breakout. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. They breakout. Can't remember who said that. I think it might have been Yellow One. He was like, "Yeah, I can't feed my bullies chicken," and most people say that you can't because I'm gonna look it up while we on here. Why not? We live. You know, because I don't want to spread misinformation, and we live, so we can just pull it up. So let me. See, I'm not getting a straight answer. Ooh. I just thought of something. I do know a veterinarian. What y'all think about a veterinarian episode? I think that'll be a great one. I didn't mean to get off topic, but it's just really an allergy. I'm gonna just say that much. But yeah, you know, so most bullies, like bully breeders I hear, they can't feed the dogs chicken. Mainly the ones with the blue coats. But I'm pretty sure I knocked this article out. Um I don't know. I think I might save this next article for another episode because I think it has a lot that I learned because I read it before, and I think a lot that other people can learn from it. But this was just a quick little episode. We went over a great article by Modern Molosser, and oh no, you all good, bro. I just wanted to see. I wanted to see if I could pull it up. I'll probably text you, and I might make a post about it too. Um, but yeah, man, I think I'm gonna save those other articles for another singular episode. Appreciate all 5 of y'all that was watching. Hunter, Tony, salute to y'all. And my little brother that was playing in my comments. Shout out to him. Yeah, I have those other articles read. I'm not sure when. I might do a live, I might not. But this was another episode of Catch Dog Concepts. What up, Nell Mac? I'm gonna wake up sleepy, man. Man, I had a long day today, bro. But yeah, like I said, this is another episode of Catch Dog Concepts. We're gonna read those other articles soon. Probably this week. I'll probably knock all was 2 more left that I wanted to read. We'll probably knock those out. So shout out to y'all, man. I appreciate all the help and support that y'all give me. And yeah. Oh, go follow Hardmouth K9 on Instagram. It's my brother Hunter. Shout out to him. Salute.